It didn't start as a joke. That's the part that matters, because if it was, I could explain it away easier. When people hear Ouija board, they think of people messing around trying to scare each other, pushing the piece on purpose, then laughing about it after. That wasn't what this was. Me, my son's mom, and a couple of our friends bought one, and from the beginning it felt different. No one was laughing, no one was trying to fake anything. We sat around it like we actually expected something to happen. At first it didn't feel like much. The piece moved slowly, and everyone kept glancing at each other like someone had to be doing it. That uneasy kind of silence filled the room, where nobody wants to accuse anyone, but nobody fully believes it either. Then after a while the feeling changed. Not in a dramatic way, just enough. The answers started lining up. Not perfectly, but enough to make you hesitate, enough to make you stay. That's how it pulled me in. Not with something obvious, but with just enough consistency that walking away felt harder than staying. I remember the tension more than anything. The quiet in the room. The way nobody really talked unless it was a question directed at the board. The way every tiny movement started to matter. Every letter felt like it carried weight. After a while I started using it alone. That's when it changed for me. I don't remember making some big decision to do that. It just happened. One night turned into a few, and then it became something I kept going back to. I'd sit there, by myself in a quiet room, hands resting lightly on the piece, asking questions I didn't even fully think through. Then I'd wait. That waiting part is what gets you, because when nothing happens, you feel stupid. But when it moves, even a little, everything in your body reacts. It doesn't feel exciting. It feels tense. Like your brain is trying to stay logical while your body already knows something feels wrong. And it would move slowly, dragging across the board like it wasn't in a hurry, like it didn't need to prove anything. That almost made it worse. If it had jumped around fast, I probably could have dismissed it easier. But it didn't. It moved with patience. It took its time. And that made it feel like something was there, even if I couldn't explain what that meant. We came up with a way to test it, a question with a specific answer. Something only the spirit we thought we were talking to would know. If it answered correctly, we kept going. If it didn't, we assumed it wasn't the same one. At least, that's what we told ourselves. Looking back, I don't know what that really proved. Maybe nothing. But at the time, it made us feel like we had some control over it, like we could identify whatever we were communicating with. Before all of this, I didn't believe in anything like that. I was an atheist. I didn't believe there was anything beyond what could be explained. But after enough of those sessions, I couldn't say that as confidently anymore. Not because I suddenly had answers, but because I had experiences I couldn't ignore. The moment that stayed with me the most didn't happen while I was using the board. It happened after. I was home alone one night. The house was quiet. No TV on, which wasn't normal for me. I usually liked having some kind of noise in the background. That night there was nothing. I was laying on my stomach trying to go to sleep. The blanket was on me, not tucked in, just resting across my body. After a minute or so, I felt it move. At first it was so slight I thought I imagined it, like one of those little shifts you barely notice. But then it kept going. Slow. Controlled. Sliding down my body toward the floor. My chest tightened almost immediately. Not panic. Not yet. Just that heavy, instinctive feeling where your body knows something isn't right before your mind fully catches up. I didn't move. I didn't even breathe differently. I just laid there completely still, trying to figure out if I was somehow doing it without realizing it, but I wasn't. It kept dragging, inch by inch. Slow enough that I could feel every part of it moving. That's what made it worse. It wasn't quick. It gave me time to feel it, time to think about it, time to realize I wasn't controlling it. By the time it reached my lower back, my whole body felt locked. I wasn't shaking, I wasn't screaming. I was just frozen, like moving would make it worse somehow. That's when I finally said something. Please stop. My voice wasn't loud. It wasn't panicked. It was quiet, controlled, almost like I didn't want to upset whatever was happening. And it stopped, instantly, not gradually. Not like it slowed down, it just stopped, like it heard me. That's when the feeling dropped straight into my chest. Heavy, cold, not fear in the way people usually describe it. Something deeper then. The feeling that reality had bent for a second and I had no explanation for it, but I didn't move. I didn't turn around. I didn't look. I didn't check anything. I stayed there, eyes open for a second, then closed. Somehow I fell asleep. I still don't understand that part. I don't understand how I didn't get up, how I didn't check the room, how I didn't react more. But I didn't. And sometimes that bothers me more than the moment itself. There was another time in the garage. Me, my ex, and her cousin were using the board. Same setup, same quiet focus, same tension in the air. At one point it started answering like it was one of their uncles. It got specific things, right? Enough that nobody said anything for a second. You could feel the room change. Not fear exactly. More like an uncomfortable awareness that none of us knew what we were dealing with anymore. Then it got something wrong, and that was enough. We didn't question it. We didn't push further, we stopped. That was the pattern every time. Enough accuracy to pull you in. Enough doubt to keep you from fully trusting it. Enough curiosity to make you think about it later. I don't have a clean explanation for any of it. I don't know if it was real, psychological, subconscious, or something else entirely. But I know how it felt, and that's what stayed with me. The tension, the silence, the slow movement. The way it didn't need to do much to make the room feel different. The strangest part is that I don't look back on it with fear. I don't feel like I need to stay away from it. If anything, I still think about it with curiosity. Not because I want answers exactly, but because it never felt finished. Whatever that was, whether it was in the room or in my head, it left a door open, somewhere in me. And I don't think I ever fully closed it.